Greetings, this is M Squared. We're going to talk about solving one-step linear equations. It's really important that if you are my student watching this video that you do it exactly like I do it, because if you don't do it exactly like I do it, you will get 0 points on your worksheet and you will have to turn it back in. So I'm trying to not only teach you how to do it, but the process, so that later when they get more complicated, that you'll know exactly what to do and can keep your steps straight. These are really easy, but you got to do it my way. So it's important to know the opposites of the operation. So if the opposite of addition is subtraction, the opposite of subtraction is addition, the opposite of multiplication is division, the opposite of division is multiplication. Because whatever operation you see happening in the one-step equation, you have to get rid of it by doing the opposite. So the opposite of -6 is to add 6. And whatever we do, this is the very most important rule, whatever you do to one side of an equation, you do to the other. So the sides are separated by an equal signs, and sometimes when kids are having trouble and they're doing the same thing twice to the one side, I have them draw a line so that they can always check, okay, did I do something to this side and the same thing to the right side? So be careful with that. So the opposite of -6 is adding 6, and I'm going to add 6 to both sides. The reason I do that is because when I'm solving, my goal is to get x alone. X is right here. If I add 6 to a -6, I get a 0, and x plus 0 is just x. So x is all alone now on that side. 15 plus 6 is 21. So now x equals 21. And if you want to check your work, you go and put this number back into x. And it's not, it's really easy to check on these one-step equations. When it gets more difficult, it's not as easy to check, but oh so vital, because you can get 100% on these quizzes and tests if you check every single one. And then if you're wrong, you just go find your mistake. So is 21 minus 6 equal to 15? Yes, it is. So that's our check. Over here, here's our x. What's happening to x? 7 is being added to it. So in order to get rid of it, I have to minus 7 from both sides. Minus 7, minus 7. Now 7 minus 7 is 0. X plus 0 is x. So x is on my right side. 9 minus 7 is 2. So my answer is x equals 2. To check it, I put it right in there, back for x, substitute it back in. What's 2 plus 7? It's 9, and that's what it said at the beginning. So I know I'm right. When a number is right next to a variable, we call it the coefficient, and it is being multiplied by the variable. And the opposite of multiplication is division. To show division, we put like a fraction line down because that means division. So I'm going to show division like that. So when I divide by the same thing, like -3 divided by -3, it's actually 1. So I get 1x. Now you can put 1x or you can just say x. It doesn't matter if it's just a 1. -33 divided by 3. First I take care of my negatives. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 33 divided by 3 is 11. So x equals 11. And I can come back up here to check it. -3 times 11 is -33, which is what I have on that side. Next you'll see the fraction bar here, which means divide. So x is being divided by 5. To get rid of x being divided by 5, I must multiply by 5. Make sure when you're multiplying by 5, you remember you're multiplying in the numerator, not down here. You're not multiplying 5 times 5. You're multiplying x times 5 because you're going to divide it. 5 divided by 5. That's why we do it, because it's the opposite. Multiplication is the opposite of division. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, cancels out, and I get 1x, but I can just write x. And then 3 times 5 is 15, and a negative times a positive is a negative, so I get -15. And if I put -15 back in there, -15 divided by 5 is -3, which is what that is. So step by step, show each step. M Squared, signing out.